I hope Ann and Jerry will be able to join us, but in the meantime, we'll start the process. Welcome to the October 13th meeting of the Town of Southampton Conservation Board. Due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic and in accordance with Chapter 417 of the laws of 2021 until January 15th, 2022, all of the board's meetings are expected to be held remotely via video conference. So we ask the public to continually check the town's website for updates and new information. As a reminder, applicants, agents, and members of the public who speak at this meeting should state their name and address for the record. The link to participate in this meeting via Zoom can be found on the town's website at the town clerk's meeting portal. If you do not wish to speak in the meeting but would like to submit comments for the public record, the link to submit comments can also be found on the town's website. Please join together for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
What is your pleasure on the minutes of September 22nd, 2021?
Move they be accepted as presented.
Jerry's coming on.
Am I coming through? Hello?
Yeah, okay. Jerry, I hear a little bit there.
Sounds like P doesn't have enough Wi-Fi.
Okay, it's been moved to accept the minutes and, oh, here he comes back again.
Second.
It's been moved in second. All in favor? And I will go around to, and I already failed to do the roll call. So I will go around to the votes, which will also duplicate as a roll call. Harry Ludlow, aye. Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom Florio,
Hi.
George,
Aye.
Tom Rickenback,
Aye.
and Jerry Collins, if you can hear me. And if we can hear you. Well, Jerry is trying to get on board. He's not here yet. Ann is not here yet. So that's our roll call as well as the vote for the minutes. We'll begin the public hearings. I'd like to take them out of order and start with, to go them in reverse order, actually. And the first two that I call will be requested for adjournment. A021034, Martin Vishvinkel and Juliet Jalema. The applicant requested adjournment to 11/17/21.
Move to adjourn to November 17th, 2021.
Second.
Second.
And that makes 4 on for that date, which probably is okay. All in favor? Harry, aye. Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Hi.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
And Jerry, if you're on board yet.
I'm here.
That sounds good. And the next one is A021026, Thomas Conti.
We do have affidavits of posting and mailing in compliance with the town code. So the board does have jurisdiction to open the hearing and adjourn if that is what you would like to do.
The applicant has requested an adjournment to 11/3/21. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn to 11/3/21.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
A 020071, Paula McKinnon and Lajoni, Paula McKinnon dash Lajoni and Anthony Viscogliosi. Is there someone in the public that is representing them?
We should have
They're coming
Michael
in now. They're coming in.
Ciano.
Mike is coming in.
Okay.
Hello. Michael
Welcome.
Shiano. Hi. Michael Shiano from InterScience Research Associates on behalf of the applicant.
You may present your application.
Okay. Share. Okay. This is a proposal at 42 Cold Spring Point Road on the south side of Cold Spring Point Road. It is surrounded on three-ish sides. On the east side, the wetlands line continues straight from Cold Spring Point Road all the way along the eastern property boundary. The wetlands then continue on the southern side and then come up slightly on the south western side. And the existing property contains a one-story house, a deck on the seaward side of the house, and a series of patios on the western side of the house. The house is FEMA non-compliant currently, and this existing septic system is very, very close to the wetlands. And we are proposing to demolish all of this and remove the existing system, and to move the house 10 feet further away from the water, and the deck will be 16 feet further away from the water. And the new house will be FEMA compliant. The new house is also going to be the same footprint as the existing house in area, 952 square feet. And we're going to be putting a second story onto the new house. So the total conditioned space of the house is 1,885 square feet. But there's no increase in the number of bedrooms, so the flow rate of the house will not be increased. The new septic system will be an IAOWTS, and we have moved it as far from the wetlands as possible to that end, where we actually have to request a variance from the Health Department Board of Review because of our distance from the proposed retaining walls, and also we are not proposing any expansion galleys for this leaching field. As part of the proposal, we are also including this deck and some access stairs to get into the house, a pathway that leads around the house, and the number of a driveway that will provide the minimum number of parking spaces required under the zoning code. All of the drainage for the house will be contained underneath the house. So we did not encroach on any of the wetlands on any of the sides of the house. And in order to further mitigate, in addition to the proposed IA system, to further mitigate what's being proposed, we have included a non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer along both the east and south side, and a wetlands preservation buffer. All of the preservation areas on site will preserve 47% of the property. The property, mind you, is only 8,501 square feet, so it is a very tight site, and we believe that we've done a lot to minimize the amount of disturbance on site and provide a better overall site plan at the end of the day. We've been in contact with Marty a good amount, and I believe that in the last communications we had with him, he had requested 2 additional changes. One was to bring the walkways. And Marty, we can just clarify this. I just realized that I wanted to just clarify this while we were talking. We're fine with it either way, but I wasn't. I just want to make sure that the walkway that you wanted to bring closer to the house was on the east side, perhaps, and then bring. Here, I'll actually bring up a closer version of this. So the top of the drawing is east. Whether this walkway was the one that you wanted to bring to be only so that the buffer was only 5 feet away from the house, so that we would have a walkway along this side. I wasn't sure if that was the walkway that you were referencing in your email from yesterday. But then the other thing we are also doing is including revegetation of the beach area. There had been grasses that had been removed in the past, and now it's just an empty beach for part of the area, and we are proposing to revegetate that now as part of Marty's comments. We've been through a number of comments with him, with Mr. Shea, and I believe at the end of the day, this project has benefited both in design and also in terms of its benefits to the environment. So if the board has any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Okay, thank you. And Marty?
Yeah, good evening. I'm Marty Shea, Chief Environmental Analyst for the town. I'll be brief in my testimony. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated February 9, 2021. It's taken some time for this application to come before the board because, as indicated, the applicant has been working very closely with me on modifying the project plans in the interest of maximizing wetland construction setbacks, minimizing coverage of the structure, and maximizing naturally vegetated wetland, non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffers. So if you were to read through my advisory report, it's really reflective of the original plan and not the current plan that's before you right now. As alluded to by the applicant, they have revised the design consistent with my recommendations. Just a couple notes on this. The pathway that I'm looking to be tightened up close to the residence is the paver stone pathway off the deck. That would be the deck on the east side or open water side. Consistent with this board's policies and protocols, I'm looking for that access path to be shifted so that the access falls within a 5 feet offset of the deck, thereby allowing for further expansion of the covenanted naturally vegetated wetland, non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. The applicant, consistent with my recommendations, has also put forward a native landscape plan. That is, they are not only going to restore the disturbed land covered by the covenanted buffer, they're also going to plant additional native vegetation throughout this site. In that the consequence of that will be that there will not be any fertilized lawn on this property. I have worked very closely with the landscape architect on the plan that you're seeing before you. And you can see the extensive amount of native plantings that are being proposed. The plan does allow for a small sitting area above the elevated IAOW-TS, which is that circular minimal area that will be seated in fescues, but will not be fertilized or maintained as turf. No herbicide will be applied as well. It just allows for some exterior space outside of the main residence. The property does have a history of unauthorized hand pulling and removal of marsh vegetation along the beach. And as indicated, the applicant has agreed to restore those affected areas by planting saltwater meadow grasses and saltwater cord grasses to ensure that that area will be fully reclaimed. The applicant is amenable to using untreated wood for the purposes of deck construction, and the driveway and parking area as indicated is minimal on this site. So I think the applicant is doing just about everything they can on this site to minimize impact. The house, the new house footprint, that is the first floor footprint, would be consistent with the footprint of the current home, in that it would be 952 square feet. It will have a second story initially. We looked at opportunities for solar panels or deck on top of the roof, but the house is going to have an angled roof. So the plan does call for a minimal deck area. That deck area is actually smaller than the existing house deck. As was indicated in the applicant's introduction, they've also shifted the house further landward from the open waters, which is certainly a plus in terms of the environment as well. So I am supportive of the plans that are before you, with that minor revision. Again, I'd like to see the pathway off the deck tighten up close to the house, consistent with our standards and protocols. But that being said, this is a good plan. And I do recommend that you close the hearing tonight and act on a conditional approval for this project at the next board meeting. Thank you.
So Marty, in your preliminary report, you requested 21 items. I just want to make sure that they have complied with all 21 of those items that you requested.
Yes, they have. There were some areas of discussion where we had to look at several options. But yes, the plan is responsive to my concerns and recommendations. So I am satisfied with this plan.
Okay.
And Marty, to clarify your recommendation on that stone patio on the seaward side off the deck, are you recommending that that it appears to be a lawn area of something like 5 feet wide or so, not be utilized as lawn, but rather that be the patio area?
No, they're not actually proposing patio. They're actually only proposing wood deck. What you're seeing around the perimeter of their residence is just a pedestrian path. that would not exceed 4 feet in width. Those are just widely spaced stepping stones. I have no issue with that. I'm just asking that on the east side of the deck, the edge of the deck, that pathway be shifted to within 5 feet of the deck. The pathway on the north side is fine. There's a little bit of overhang for the structure, so that pathway is as tight as it can be. And it's my understanding that the applicant is amenable to that minor shift in that pathway. That would allow for further expansion of the covenanted buffer and native revegetation in that area. It will still allow for maintenance, safe access around the residence, and it will be consistent with our standard recommendations on constrained sites like this.
That did not help me in my understanding.
Okay.
So,
Just to summarize then, I'm asking that the plan be changed to eliminate that turf between the deck and the pathway, and the pathway needs to be shifted west, tied up against the deck.
Thank you.
Then,
that's what I was trying to clarify.
On the water side, that would allow for further expansion of that buffer.
Okay.
All
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There's one other area that does concern me. And I'm looking at this in this particular situation as if it was my house, and how I would navigate. When I see two cars pulled in a narrow driveway, one in front of the other, invariably the wrong car needs to come out first. It does, that to me is not a practical design. I wonder now. This is saying more about me than about the plan. So let me talk to the agent here. Is that really what you're looking for, or would it make more sense to not use any more area for the driveway and not reduce the buffer at all, but change the configuration so that those two cars would be side by side just inside the property line?
in this case, there are a number of cedars and a number of Baccharis that are right up against where the driveway is going to be. So we would actually have to remove those trees. And I don't think that I think the client would actually like to keep those, to be completely honest.
Okay.
I completely understand. I think that it would be a good idea, but I think in this case, my client is very attached to a lot of the existing vegetation that's on her property, and you'll see in a lot of places where she actually notes where we note that a lot of existing plants are going to remain.
Okay.
So,
And Mike, that is just fine. I just want to be intentional
yeah.
in
I
understanding the decision.
But thank you very much.
All right. Are there any more comments by the board?
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
And we still don't have Jerry here, do we? Well, I hope he gets his electronics working, but I can also feel the frustration. Mike, thank you for your work. You spent a lot of time on this, obviously. You come up with a good plan.
Thank you very much.
Harry, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, Anne.
Yes. Okay, it's I.
just-
I came in late. I was having trouble joining.
Okay, I just saw you. Welcome aboard. And were you here in time to vote?
Vote
So-
for what?
You didn't call the name.
Yes, I heard the presentation, and I'm
Okay,
voting
So,
yes.
Ann, yes, okay, to close the hearing. Thank you. I didn't even see you on my picture. Is there anybody else?
Sketch.
Okay, Is there anybody else that I haven't seen? I got 16 pictures here. All right,
13.
thank you.
Jerry's
That,
coming in now. There's Jerry. Say something, Jerry.
What do you need?
Anybody hear me there?
Yes,
Jerry,
Yes.
Jerry,
Well-
that's wonderful. I can both hear you and see you.
Yeah, well, I've been listening and watching. I could see everything. I don't know why I couldn't be involved. Every time I tried to do it, it pushed me off the webinar. But
Yeah.
I did hear everything on this application, and I'm in favor of closing the public hearing.
Okay, great. So now we got everybody on board. Yeah, Jerry, that's great. Before, it sounded just like we were in the auditorium at Town Hall. Okay, that concludes the public hearings. And now we'll move on to the referrals for the planning board. The North Lot LLC.
Good evening again, Marty Shea, environmental analyst for the town. This is a subdivision that's in a pre-application stage. Actually, Karina, there's an alternative plan which you should show, because this is not the actual plan that they're going forward with. While she's trying to present that map, this is a subdivision that's in a pre-application stage for existing farmland on Deerfield Road in Watermill. The first comment indicates that the property is adjacent to the Long Island Railroad, as well as proximate to freshwater wetlands across the railroad. And as such, the alternative plan, which Karina is attempting to show right now, is a plan that can be supported, as it calls for setting aside greater than 17 acres of open space to the east and south that would buffer the proximate wetlands and maintain scenic farmland views as observed from the train. The second comment indicates that the subdivision map should be revised to show the pond shoreline to the southeast, and it would appear that the map is subject to the requirements of 292-39B. Thirdly, there should be a notice on the map that IAOWTS installation is now a requirement for new home construction at this site, as per the updated Suffolk County Department of Health Services requirements that became effective July 1, 2021. And lastly, the comment is offered that there may be a need to reconfigure the existing deer fence in order to allow for a intended 10 feet wide trail easement along the southerly portion of the map. The applicant is offering that trail. It just looks like the existing fence lines need to be reconfigured a bit in order to allow for public access and use of that trail.
Motion to send the comments to the planning board?
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom F,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Tom R,
Aye.
Ann.
aye,
Thank you. The administrative wetland permits are in your packets. And we'll move on for resolution of conditional approval. A020078, Stephen R. Shoemate. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Resolve that a conditional wetland proof of approval be granted to Stephen R. Shoemate for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
And Ann.
Aye.
A021062, Gerald Kaplan and Geraldine Kaplan. Any discussion?
Move to issue.
Second.
Second.
Resolved that a conditional wetland permit approval be granted to Gerald Kaplan and Geraldine Kaplan for the proposed project upon the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
A021066, Nasim Bahar and Jamie Bahar, and the applicant requested adjournment to 12/8/21. And is there a motion?
So move.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Preliminary review, secret determination, A021017, Lawrence Stoller and Melissa Stoller.
This application relates to an existing Bayside elevated home on Dune Road in the hamlet of West Hampton, as indicated by the October 12, 2021 advisory report. The property has frontage on the Mauritius Bay and contains very extensive tidal wetlands. The application was initially made in order to proceed with certain accessory improvements at the site. You'll see that on the west side of the elevated dwelling, there is a elevated deck area and small pool. The applicant is seeking to remove and reconstruct that pool, make it a little bit larger, add a hot tub, expand a little bit on the deck. There's some covered deck and porch area that's proposed as well. The pool equipment would be sited beneath the deck that's raised on pylons. They need to move a mechanical platform from the west side of the house to the east side. The property has a fairly extensive paver drive and parking area. The applicant is willing to remove those impervious pavers and convert the drive and parking area to pervious stone. This property does have some history before the board, in that the board had previously issued a permit back in 2003. Actually 2001, in order to allow for construction of the elevated residence, pool and deck. They had to obtain certain variances from the Zoning Board of Appeals. The consequence of that process was that the configuration of the house, pool and deck was slightly modified. It's not clear in the record as to whether or not they ever came back to the board to get their existing permit modified. So part of the pending application review is to authorize and legalize the reconfigured existing residence and accessory improvements as well. The permit that had been issued by the board was conditioned upon establishment of a covenanted naturally vegetated wetland, non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. That area was since cleared and disturbed. So as part of the application, the landowner is seeking to restore that affected area to native vegetation. In light of the further seaward expansion of the existing deck and the planned construction of a larger pool, I am asking that the existing covenanted buffer be expanded so that it's maximized for this site with a 5-foot offset from the elevated house and deck. There's been a landward expansion of the tidal wetlands on this property as well, as reflected by the applicant's wetland boundary that I have verified as accurate. So the expansion of the buffer also allows for protection of the landward migration of the tidal wetlands on this property. So this is the sketch that I offer to the applicant. Although the planned partial reconstruction of the accessory improvements does not comply with the minimum required 100-foot wetland construction setbacks, because these improvements are significantly elevated above the ground. I'm less concerned about impacts than if they were proposed at grade. So if you could see the entirety of this parcel, you would see that it's a very large parcel that extends very far out to the bay. So all the existing tidal wetlands would also be covenanted as a wetland preservation area. The new deck would be built with untreated wood, consistent with the board standards. The pool would be saltwater pool as well, and as indicated, the drive will be converted to pervious stone. This is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, I'm recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Excuse me, Marty,
Yes,
can you hear me?
yes.
Was there any opportunity or any discussion about an IA system for this property?
No, there was not, because the applicant, as far as the new improvements, they're all accessory improvements. There are no living area additions that are planned at this site. So while the installation of an IA can be beneficial, I don't see that it addresses the wetland impacts of the construction that's being proposed. If the applicant in the future comes forward with a living area addition, I think then we would be in a much better position to ask that the applicant entertain upgrading the existing system as a IA, but that is not part of the current plan, nor did I recommend that the applicant consider that. Although the house and existing deck has been reconfigured somewhat, it's consistent with the footprint that the board had previously approved. So although, yes, deck expansion is planned here, it's really relatively minor for the site and the The less than 100 feet setbacks is due to the landward expansion of the wetlands. The applicant came forward with an excellent plan for native revegetation, and they are amenable to expanding upon that to include the additional land area as shown on this sketch.
All right, thank you, Marty. I just thought there is, if there are properties that are just perfect for IAs, this is one. So,
Yeah, I just don't see a nexus between the benefits of the IA and the potential impacts of the accessory improvements that the board needs to address. But of course, in the event that they come forward with a plan for any living area expansion in the future, I absolutely would recommend that the system be upgraded to an IA at that time.
okay, thank you, Marty.
Motion to waive public hearing.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom F,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Tom R,
Aye.
Ann.
Aye.
A021030 Charles Truns III.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property on the north side of South Road in the hamlet of West Hampton. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated October 7, 2021. When Karina brings up a survey of the property, you'll see that the site is marked by a freshwater creek along the easterly property boundary, as well as a drainage corridor that acts as headwaters for the Oneck Creek, which is a tributary to the Murch's Bay. The application was filed because the landowner is seeking to construct a small living area addition to the, we also want to construct a swimming pool and deck area essentially on the landward side of the house with a small pool house and patio. Significant portion of the buffering vegetation along the wetlands has succeeded to invasive Japanese knotweed. So part of this plan is also to manage and eliminate that knotweed and to replace the affected areas with native vegetation. The shaded area to the north is an area of existing open woods. You have scattered mature trees with an understory of invasive wisteria that's also climbing up some of the trees, looking to establish a lawn in that area. This application has some history before the board. A prior permit was conditioned upon recording a covenant to establish wetland protection area and a buffering area. The wetland line on the survey that was filed with the recorded covenant was verified as accurate last fall. However, neither that wetland line nor the scope of the existing covenanted buffer is shown on this survey. So I am recommending, I should mention that the applicant is also going to upgrade the sanitary system by installing an IA OWTS in order to address the impacts of the small living area addition on this site. So I've offered several recommendations to the applicant. The first is that the survey obviously needs to be corrected to show the accurate wetland boundary. as well as show the existing covenant, the buffer. Where the wetland boundary is different is in the northeast corner of the property. The stream bed shifts a little bit to the northwest. So that revision needs to be made. The full extent of the existing covenant, the buffer, also needs to be shown. I've asked that as part of the invasive knotweed management plan, that the applicant make some revisions to the recommended revegetation of those disturbed areas, consistent with the vegetation that you find naturally occurring along stream beds such as this. In the northerly part of the parcel, I have, in light of the extensive understory of wisteria, I have no issue with removal of the wisteria, but I am asking that the applicant preserve the existing large mature trees in that area, that they be that their locations be shown on the revised survey. There is one tree, one locust tree that's leaning and presents a potential hazard to the residents. I did recommend that that tree be removed. Because the wetlands are largely confined to a very narrow, intermittent stream bed, I'm not asking that the buffer be expanded beyond the existing recorded covenant. The actual buffer on the north side of the detached garage does come further landward. So that's where the survey needs to be corrected. So, you know, I think there is a long drive. It's pervious already. That detached garage has been there for many, many years. I think, you know, conceptually, otherwise, the concept plan for this site is fine. The construction is at compliant setbacks. So this is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing?
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, aye. Well, let's see. I forgot to read the resolution. Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom Moore?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
A 02. Let me get back to where I belong here. That was, which one did we just do? The 710?
1043 is next.
There we go. A021043 Burnett 2012 Family Trust.
This application and the following application, A021044, relate to an existing residentially developed property. There is adjacent on the west side, vacant land that is in common ownership. The application has been made in order to get this board's approval to install parallel lines of slanted deer barrier fence. There are considerable fences on the property that were installed without the required authorizations that need to be addressed as well. I'm in my advisory report of October 7, 2021, which is a joint report for this application in the following application, A021044. I'm requesting additional information with regards to the intended methodology for construction of the fence. Some evidence that the fence is necessary and that it will not result in undue wildlife impacts. And then I'm also asking for the applicant to address the existing network of unauthorized fences as well. So I am recommending that both this application and the next application go to a joint public hearing. So there is a resolution before you to schedule a hearing. A hearing is needed as significant additional information is warranted in order for us to make a determination.
Marty, you referenced the next application in this one. Do those same comments apply to the next application?
Yes.
So,
You'll see one joint preliminary advisory report that addresses both applications as they're in common ownership, and the activities would occur on both properties.
okay. So we'll schedule a public hearing for this one first, and then we'll do the next one.
Yeah, there's two separate resolutions scheduled here.
Motion to schedule a public hearing for application A021043 for November the 17th, 2021.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby schedules the public hearing for November 17th, 2021. And the notice of public hearing be published in the town designated newspaper pursuant to chapter 325, section 325, 8C of the town code. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
A021044 Burnett 2012 Family Trust. Is there a motion to include the previous comments in this application?
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
And now is there a motion to schedule a public hearing for November 17th?
Motion to schedule a public hearing for November 17th, 2021.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby schedules a public hearing for November 17th, 2021, and the notice of public hearing be published in the town designated newspaper pursuant to chapter 325, section 325-8C of the town code. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
A021045 Dean Del Pret and Tara Del Pret.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property on Wynwood Court in the hamlet of West Hampton. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated October 7, 2021. The application has been made in order to legalize and reauthorize residential improvements that had been authorized by this board, subject to conditional approval. The applicant had never complied with conditions of that approval, so their approval expired, thereby requiring that they come forward with this new application. The advisory report speaks to the considerable history on this property. The board had back in 2004 issued a permit for construction of a swimming pool, conditioned upon establishment of a covenanted buffer. The applicant had then proceeded with the pool construction, but reconfigured the pool and added elevated patio around the pool, as well as retaining walls that then needed to be legalized. The applicant had come back to the board previously in 2017 in order to get those improvements legalized. The existing covenanted buffer at that time was 30 feet wide. The board asked that the covenanted buffer be extended to 45 feet wide, as shown on this survey. While the applicant was amenable to that, they never came forward with the revised survey and the draft covenant. Again, their conditional approval expired. So I did recently meet with the applicant at the property, and nothing has changed on the property. The same improvements that the improvements that the applicant is seeking to legalize at this time are the same that were last considered by the board in 2017. In response to my recommendations many years ago, the applicant discontinued mowing in the buffer. The buffer is now marked by substantial natural vegetation, so there's no longer a need for any active planting. There were non-compliant fences that were relocated as well. So basically, the applicant is looking to get all these activities legalized and reauthorized again, so that they can come forward with the necessary draft covenant upon approval, record the covenant with the Suffolk County Clerk reflective of the required expanded buffer, and then look to file a certificate of wetland compliance application so that they can close out the permit. So no new activities are being proposed, and we have sufficient information to make a determination. As such, recommending that the hearing requirement be waived.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second.
Resolved that the Town Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing requirement pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-80 of the Town Code. All in favor?
Aye.
Ray, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
And the next is A021046, Jonathan Morton.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property on Lake Drive in North Sea. There is a preliminary advisory report on file dated September 21, 2021. The property, as indicated, has frontage on Fresh Pond. It contains naturally vegetated tidal wetlands. Part of the shoreline is bulkheaded. There are also additional wetlands across a residentially developed lot to the southwest. The redevelopment of this property would occur at nearly compliant or compliant setbacks from Fresh Pond. The setbacks are a little bit less across developed lot to the southwest. As part of my advisory report, I did agree that the on-site wetlands be covenanted as a wetland preservation area, and that a 50 feet wide naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer be established on the subject property. The applicant is amenable to that. I had also asked that the applicant consider design changes to lessen need for fill as part of the planned swimming pool construction. That's one of the reasons why the preliminary advisory review was postponed at the applicant's request for 2 weeks in order to give the applicant sufficient opportunity to look at possible design alternatives and work closely with my office in finalizing the plan. So the sketch that you're seeing before you has been changed somewhat in that the extent of fill has been considerably lessened. And the applicant is in the process of getting a survey revised consistent with this plan. I didn't ask for a larger buffer on this property because the large majority of the construction is occurring within the existing footprint of the current dwelling and accessory and improvements, and because the shoreline is partially bulkheaded as well. This is an application for which we have sufficient information to make a determination. The applicant has agreed to all the recommended design changes and mitigation. As such, we can waive the hearing requirement for this application.
Motion to waive the public hearing.
Second.
Resolved that the Conservation Board hereby waives the public hearing pursuant to Chapter 325, Section 325-8E of the Town Code. All in favor? Harry, aye. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F?
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R?
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Resolution to issue modification, CB 18029, Meta Hampton Acquisitions LLC.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property that's undergoing redevelopment at Sam's Creek Road in the hamlet of Bridgehampton. The resolution before you provides significant history in terms of the prior renewal. The applicant is seeking to make some minor changes in the configuration of various accessory improvements as well as in the residence. All of these construction changes would occur at compliant setbacks. As you can see on the property, the plans also continue to call for a compliant restored buffer at this site. There is a pedestrian easement and drainage easement running along the southerly property boundary. The applicant had initially proposed some fencing, installation of a propane tank and some grade modifications in that area in order to ensure there were no conflicts with the language of those easements. The applicant has agreed to ship those planned improvements outside of the easement so that no grade changes or construction will occur within the bounds of those easements. There is otherwise nothing about this application that has substantially changed. The required covenanted buffer is still sufficient to mitigate the wetland impacts. As such, the resolution before you is to approve the needed modifications to the existing permit in order to allow this project to go forward.
Motion to issue the modification.
Second.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Metahampton Acquisition LLC for the proposed project by the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom F.,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Tom R.,
Aye.
and
Aye.
CB 21003, Michael DiStefano and Lisa DiStefano.
So this application relates to a property that is undergoing some redevelopment on Old Fort Lane in the hamlet of Shinnecock Hills. Board had issued a permit in January of this year in order to allow for those improvements. This application was made as the board is looking for approval of a expansion of the house a little bit further seaward. I had asked that the plans be modified in order to allow for a 10-foot expansion of the existing covenanted naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer, which the applicant has agreed to, and which is shown on the current plans. There is, that being said, with that additional buffer, there is no aspect of this application that will result in significant adverse wetland impacts. So the resolution before you is to approve the requested modifications to the existing permit in order to allow the applicant to go forward with these changes.
Motion to issue the modification.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to Michael DiStefano and Lisa DiStefano for the proposed project on the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry,
Aye.
Sunshine,
Aye.
Tom F.,
Aye.
George,
Aye.
Tom R.,
Aye.
and
Aye.
A 021083, John Durazio and Jeffrey Broderson.
This application relates to an existing residentially developed property off Flying Point Road in the hamlet of North Sea. The property has frontage on Burnetts Creek, has an existing covenanted wetland preservation area and naturally vegetated wetland non-disturbance, non-fertilization buffer. Just to give you some quick history on this property. The applicant some years ago had willingly come forward with a plan to remove all the bulkheading on the property and to restore the shorefront to a naturally vegetated shoreline. The project was very successful, such that the conditions of this property have significantly improved ecologically over the years. The applicants have been great about managing those restricted conservation areas. Back in 2009, the board had issued a permit that allowed for some significant improvements, including partial second-story addition and a small swimming pool on the landward side of the house. The board had required a septic upgrade as part of that as well. The applicant has been renewing that approval and permit as the site conditions have not changed over the years, and the board had viewed the removal of the bulkhead along the shoreline as substantial wetland impact mitigation. The landowners have made this application simply to install a generator. The generator would be at a significant distance from the water And we have simply asked that if the applicant yet may want to go forward with the other authorized improvements, since their conservation board permit is valid, that they have the survey revised to show those other improvements. I don't know if the applicant is going to ever actually go forward with those accessory improvements. But right now, they just want to get a generator in. So the application before you is to allow for modification of the existing valid permit in order to allow for installation of the generator. The generator poses no issue in terms of potential adverse wetland impacts. Thank you.
Motion to issue the modification.
Second.
Resolved that a wetlands permit modification be issued to John Durazio and Jeffrey Broderson for the proposed project on the terms and conditions set forth therein. All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
And resolution to transfer conditional approval A021028, the Vizcarrondo Children's Trust.
Yeah, this is just a valid permit that was issued for a property that has since changed hands. So this is a resolution just to transfer the ownership and the name on the permit. No impacts will result from that. The applicant has agreed, the new owners have agreed to all the mitigation measures that were required as part of the initial permit.
Is there a motion to transfer?
Motion to transfer.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F.
Aye.
George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Thank you all. And is there a motion now to adjourn?
The motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Harry, I. Jerry?
Aye.
Sunshine?
Aye.
Tom F. George?
Aye.
Tom R.
Aye.
Ann?
Aye.
Thank you and have a good night.